Start the theme music. Babylon 5, Babylon 25 squared. Oh, Jeff, you can say it's like, as the intro music is going, you're down with it. I think we're getting a Babylon 5 rewatch show on the network.
A Babylon 5 rewatch on the what?
On your network.
Excuse me.
We'll talk more if you're down for it. All right, welcome to I Must Dre'K. I'm your host, Dre Alvarez, found most places as Nerd Numbers, using the same intro I do on other podcasts because it's hard to keep all of them straight. I'm not Jeff.
Especially the date, seeing as how we have March 31st, 025 as the date I'm noticing on our YouTube page.
Is that what it says?
So we'll have
yeah,
it says 03/3/1/025.
All right,
that's fine. We'll fix that.
If only we could change that in real time, Jeff.
We'll fix it in post. Don't worry about it. I'm very excited. We've got Babylon 5.
You know how there's no defense like a good offense? It's like they say there's no post like a good pre. No one says that in the history of the human language. That is the first time that sentence was ever uttered.
Dre, you got some Babylon 5 profiles here. So
Jeff, I may have gone a little insane, but in my defense, what I'm going to tell you, give me 1 second, I'm going to turn off my overhead light. This is
it's so bright.
This is kind of like the Holy Grail for me, Jeff, because each of these boxes is less than retail $60, and that's the upper end. So these cards right here, this one was $55, but that is because this is a European edition with a special box topper.
Ooh, very European.
Those profile ones, I believe, were like $40 to $50 each, and I'll explain why that's important. And this is 1996 Babylon 5. You can tell this is the US, not European, because it's numbered. So these are all Skybox. So these right here are super cheap, as in you can find a box, if you find a deal on eBay, less than $50 a box. If you choose to just not even wait around to find European, pay $50 for a European box with a custom box topper. Only 60 cards in the set, tons of inserts. So this is fun. Why I love them is they're cheap, right? We're going to get a complete set in this show, if not the next one, of these, but they are cheap and they have like fun inserts and things in them. I went for these Babylon 5 profile cards, and you have grabbed these before, Jeff, for Star Trek. The profile cards, where it literally is profiles. It's pictures of actors in the show. But it also has autographs, as you can see. And the reason I extra like this, and this is really messed up, Jeff, is the number of characters in Babylon 5 that have died is ridiculous. So as an example, this is Andreas Katsoulis, the one-armed man from The Fugitive. He is dead. Peter Jurasik, I think I'm saying that right. He's still alive. Tron, Bruce Boxleitner, dead. Mura Furlan, dead. Jerry O'Doyle, who looks like Bruce Willis, dead. So half of the pictures on this cover are dead, and even more of the main actors in Babylon 5 are dead. So as messed up as it is, I don't mind having a couple boxes of profiles with autographs in them, because they're people you can't get for real.
Ooh, yeah, it's like relics.
It is, and it's kind of messed up that way. And then unfortunately, Babylon 5, for those that don't know, and this is probably good, I'll start unboxing the boxes, Jeff, so that's what's going on in the background. I have no idea what word that was. But Babylon 5 was a brainchild.
Bruce Boxleitner didn't die, did they?
He's not.
No, he's still. Wait.
Michael O'Hare, who was the first captain of the show, did die.
Oh, okay. All right, that's who it was.
And Richard Biggs died, which is he was Dr. Franklin on the show, and he was just young and ripped and fit, and so I think he had like a heart thing that was random. So there are deaths on the show that is like, Andreas Katsoulis was a smoker that refused to quit smoking, classic tale, right?
Oh yeah, dude's rock.
So no shock there, but then like Franklin Biggs dying, or Richard Biggs, aka Dr. Franklin, dying, that was wild, because it's like that's the most in shape person that if you met at cons was like full of energy, up all night. So, Jeff, I am not 100% certain this was a legit European box unless the box topper was in the bottom,
Is it the bottom? Yeah.
which is possible, but allegedly
I don't know.
this was a
Dump
European
it.
box. Yeah, I'm not. But Jeff, then stuff falls out. Okay, give me 1 second. This is Jeff's fault, but we'll. Fantastic. We'll leave some pretty card packages out while I do that. How about we actually start opening some packs, and then I'll do that in the background. And let's see what the count
Stole my
is.
line.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, Jeff, I actually do have a PowerPoint presentation we can go to as well.
Oh no, I feel like that's good. I feel like
I'm
we're
trying
good.
to see how there are a lot of these boxes are pretty hefty, which is nice. But what I also like is the packs are pretty thin. That's kind of ideal. So I'll just
We
put
like
this on
that.
in the background. Let's start breaking it. And as mentioned, this week we will be recording the next episode of Nerd over at patreon.com/Jeff May. If you go search for Jeff Has Cool Friends, I am on that network with the Nerd Show. Oh, yeah. And by the way, when we're talking dead from Taxi, he's dead. Oh, cool. Is Walter Koenig still alive from Star
Everybody's
Trek?
who?
Walter Koenig? He played, what's his
Walter
name?
Koenig is still alive.
Yeah, plays the. So fun. I have so much behind the scenes trivia, which again might happen.
So Brian, who's a good friend of mine from back home, um, he was a buddy I met through at That's Entertainment. Says I'm packing for a trip tonight, so if you call on me, yell real loud.
So
But he is watching and
just
participating.
as a
Him and
silly
Landon.
comment, Jeff, as I noted, first three cards out of this, 2/3 of them are dead.
Why'd you kill them?
Jeff, you get that in it. You get the hunger, the dark passenger. I tried to make a Dexter reference and failed. All right, so anyway, this week for Nerd, we're going to be recording on Youngblood with Mike Slater. Mike Slater is a big Babylon 5 fan. We may have some Babylon 5 content in the future. I am a fountain of knowledge on Babylon 5 trivia. For instance, he had like health conditions. Walter Koenig, how do you say the last name?
I believe it's Koenig.
He was supposed to have a bit role in Babylon 5, like a one-off. He had health conditions, came back later, and had a recurring, and this is one of the coolest characters on the show.
Oh.
This
Fun
is
story. He was at the second mint on card.
That is so cool. Did you meet him? Like he was there. Did you get to talk to him at all?
I mean a little bit, but he didn't stick around for too long. He was a customer.
So he was just there on his own?
Store. Yeah. And then I talked to him and he stuck around for a little bit.
Oh, we got Lando Malari. I love that. These are cool cards. And the backs are pretty cool as well. I like these. This, man, Jeff, nobody tell Jeff about this episode. We may have
to man, I've never seen the show. Is that Robert Englund?
Good eye. Amazing eye, Jeff. This episode of Babylon 5 is one of the most famous. And Jeff, we actually brought this episode up on an episode of Nerd where we were talking with Michael Vincent Bramley, Passing Through Gethsemane. This is an episode that he actually had to rewrite because a fan posted the idea for it on a message board and he didn't want to get sued, so he actually had to work out the rights with the fans first. So he did do it, but you're not wrong where it does get really difficult if you're a fan of something and you try and, share it with your creator. They're like,
you've
put me in a pickle because the only thing I can do here is work with you, and that's extra work, and the studios are going to say, why would we pay for that? These are just nice looking cards. The condition doesn't look too horrible.
It's a pretty looking card, yeah.
I had a random one of these from when I was a kid, just the trivia. And these, I remember this, and this is true. These trivia questions on these Babylon 5 cards are ridiculous.
Oh, I like that they make them like Trivial Pursuit cards even.
Okay, so Naroon is a member of the Warrior cast. Who thought he was King Arthur? That was Logan.
Oh, you're spoiling the show.
Logan from Logan's Run. Okay, I do not know the Intrigue one, and I do not know the Centauri Fish one. Cool.
I know all the answers.
No,
I'm
you
just not
don't.
going to tell you.
Be quiet, Jeff.
I do.
Voices of
Genius.
Authority. These were done, I forget, like Amiga computers, I think, were what the graphics were done on, the CGI in the show. I don't remember.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that was one of those.
not like a Tandy or anything like that.
Doesn't he kind of look like Phil from Modern Family? Too old, though. No way that's him.
Wait, who that? Oh, that guy.
Sebastian.
He
I can't,
looks like young Peter Cushing. He looks like a Hammer Films actor, is what he looks like.
so many of these, like, that's from a cool episode, but I don't want to say anymore because, again, stuff.
Oh, don't.
Jakar.
Walker's here. Hey,
And
buddy.
actually, that card there, Jeff, I didn't, like, you may have seen it quickly, but I'm going to not show that card too because my hope for some of the Babylon 5 stuff is to, like, show you episodes, and at least one or two, so maybe not all of them, but show you an episode and, like, have you go in blind-ish.
I will exclusively be going in blind to any episode of Babylon 5 I watch.
What kind of card is that? Like, I mean, I kind of know what's going on, but that's just, all these other cards look good, and that's just a wild one.
Looks chaotic.
Oh, that's super early on. That's from the pilot. This card here.
Oh.
Lanier. Do you recognize this actor, by the way? This is Babylon 5 is probably his third most famous sci-fi fantasy role.
I'm looking. Yeah, it's so I don't have a. Is it Matt Frewer?
It's Bill Mummy, so from Lost in Space, and then he was also the kid in the cornfield in that amazing episode of The Twilight Zone. Look at this card. I know this episode. This is just
okay. Did I lose my audio for a second?
I don't think so. I can hear you.
I couldn't hear
Yeah, I
anything.
think you may have lost something because you kind of like trailed off a little after us when I said Twilight Zone.
Because I said I didn't hear. I guessed Matt Frewer and Doug Jones, and then
I didn't hear Doug Jones. I heard Matt Frewer, and I gave you the answer, which is Bill Mummy. So Lost in Space, and then he's the kid in the kid that sends people to the cornfield. The Twilight Zones.
He's also that bad assassin guy in that terrible movie that we watched.
Yes, that. You know what sucks, Jeff? That may rank above Babylon 5. Awesome Marcus Cole. He was in an episode of Lois and Clark. And Jeff, here's to get you involved. This is like required for 80s sci-fi fantasy. There's just the hot, dangerous redhead, Lita Alexander. Like, you know.
You know what's great about her is she looks hard as hell. She looks like she would beat the absolute Christ out of you.
So the reality is she was actually a lot of stunt work. So she was like a stunt actress. So you are correct. So she is a badass before.
Good to be. Because like I was like, you know, you look at Gates McFadden, like very soft, very feminine. And then you're like, here's the version of Gates McFadden, and she looks like a badass prize fighter. And I'm like, oh hell yeah.
I love some of these. I know this episode and I know what's going on, but this is the classic. Like if you zoom in and just get a random thing, you're like, what the hell is going on there?
Dude, I don't know enough about this show to understand why there's like a Pinocchio looking boy there.
Boy? That's Susan Ivanova?
Okay. I apologize.
We got okay. What's this?
All the apologies.
Jeff, this is. Oh, is this just a? What is this? Look at this, Jeff. So, this is a poster. Oh, this is cool. Wow, they actually put a poster. I saw this, Jeff. They said they had posters in here. I assume these were packs, like cards that were a poster. This is a legit night. What's so cool, Jeff? So, this is a Night Watch poster. Let's see which one it is. So there are some allegories in the show, and the Night Watch are a not subtle in the slightest allegory for Nazis. And actually, I have no idea what the hell this is. This is cool.
And they've all.
Let me zoom out really quick. So the Night Watch had like propaganda posters, and those are inserts. But this is just a legit poster. I don't think that's Jakar. This is a Narn, but I don't know. Like I don't speak Narn, Jeff, if you'll believe that.
Yeah. Boy, buddy.
I'm going to have to look up this.
I'm kind of a fan, are you?
That is cool, though. This is the number 9 poster. And they're just folded up. I love this set, Jeff. And like I said, you know, the price isn't too bad. there are cool relics and inserts and stuff, and it's just not quite popular enough for it to be expensive. Because even if, say, I find in the profiles, let's say I find a Michael O'Hare autograph card, which would be one of the big hits because he's passed, right? I found those online for like $100. So it's kind of going, that tells you it, right? If you have a vintage pack that's going to be expensive, the hit cards have to be really expensive.
What I genuinely love that you're like, I gotta hurry up and get some of these Babylon 5 boxes
Well,
because the
no,
race is on.
it's not that. What I'm saying is it was going, the price wasn't that bad, and I'm like, they're cheap.
You're like,
And so this gives me good stuff to just have on the shelf to break on random days for I must Drake you. And I'm saying they're like perfect for me because they're at that level of NBA hoops price. Again, this is Dr.
that's
Franklin
not a
Biggs, who has
crazy.
passed. Um, but at the same time, Jeff, they're they're like NBA hoops level of cost, but with hit cards.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
nice.
Da-da-da. Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, I know both so far.
So
I
Walker says, I want to see a movie starring every character ever played by Doug Jones and Andy Serkis. And then
okay.
Vin's son can be every character played. Oh, the villain, I think he says, is the villain can be played every character played by Ron Perlman.
What? Okay, one second. Okay, I have no idea. Just as an FYI, if anybody wants to know this, who was the bomber on B5 in early 2260? If you know that, you're a bigger nerd than me. We are having some collation and repeats, which is not a shocker because there are only 60
Yeah.
cards in the set.
And it's Skybox.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's from one of the coolest episodes. Okay. That would be a cool card to get autographed. You can't anymore, but it would be an awesome card, too. Let's see. How many more am I going to go? So, actually, I should
You could
start
have.
actually doing some math.
I'd like to think that if somebody asked you one of those, like, if you could have dinner with any five people, living or dead, who would you? I feel like you'd pick just like five dead Babylon 5 cast members.
I don't know. I mean, okay, I turn into that annoying person that might be like, okay, who could I make the most money off of, like, stuff from? That's an answer to a trivia question, an earlier card. That's what's the actor who played Logan in Logan's Run?
Uh, it's what's his name? It's not like Basil Exposition from.
Yes, he is Basil Exposition on Austin Powers. Good memory.
He also played, I believe, Mercutio in the Zeffirelli Romeo and Juliet,
Okay.
or Tybalt, one of those
Oh,
two.
by the way, sad. Oh, actually, dead. By the way, Bluto from Animal House.
Uh, Bluto from Animal House is John Belushi.
Not Bluto. Fish.
You mean Fish? Yeah,
Bluto is also dead from Animal House, but yeah,
he
did not
died. He
manage to
died
make
pretty
it to
quick. Yeah.
Babylon 5. Shakar,
He couldn't even make it to Babylon 2, man.
brother Theo. He plays chess on the show. And yeah, we got there. This is, as you mentioned, Talia Winter. Or
Right.
that's
That's
Talia Winter's
founder.
Lita Alexander. Yeah, she does look like a badass, rightly so.
Brian Grainer said
Flounder.
it's.
You are right, Brian. We should have yelled your name louder, Brian. Apologies. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 cards in a pack. There are a good number of packs in this box. So
Awesome, man. I love that for you. I love this for you.
I do
That
feel
there's
this.
like,
These were built then, right, more as a actual resale at a store as opposed to hobby box, but it has hobby box level hits, so it's kind of a perfect combo. But lots of duplicates.
there you go. Well, that's fine.
Great machine. Ah, heck yeah, we got our JMS, J. Michael Straczynski.
Oh, nice.
I
There we
look
go.
way too much like JMS for my liking. Go back in time and be like, you're going to turn into this. I'm like, fair enough.
Got to get that signed and send it into PSA.
Yes. All right. Do I know these? Yep, I knew that. Don't know that. Was it the Night Watch?
I don't
This
know.
one they
What
breed.
is
I
it?
may have this card. Okay.
I'm trying not to pay attention to those questions so as not to have anything spoiled
The
for
good
me.
news about those questions, yeah, and I'm noticing I'm going to be very curious
Five
about. Oh, this I
show.
think is what is this? What is this? Is this an actual? Oh, this is just card number one. I was
Oh,
hoping this was like a specialty insert or something. But that's card number one.
everyone loves a card number one.
All right. I'm going to open
Huh.
one more pack, then I'm going to check to the back of the box to see if there is a topper in it. And then, Jeff, we can talk about the week.
Yeah, we can talk about the week, all right.
Oh, this is such a cool episode, by the way.
Yeah, it
This is
is.
a fun one to show. Let's see, is this an insert or a normal card? Early history. So this is Babylon 4, Jeff. All right.
Oh,
Okay, this one. Okay, this is cool. This looks like a something, right? Because the card looks like that looks gold
gold.
embossed. 6 of 10 counter
There
casting.
you
And
go.
yep, this actually said, when my casting director recommended Robert Englund for the role of Jeremiah, I wasn't sure because he's mainly known for Freddy Krueger roles. And that's, again, that is one of the most infamous episodes of Babylon 5. And
How is it not good?
it's, this is one of those where I want to talk more about it either
Uh,
with you or
but
without you
don't.
on the show. I love the episode.
What is this, a U2 song? Who?
What?
With or without you?
Oh, fair enough.
I
And then,
can't
by
sing
the
it
way,
anymore because
these
we'll
two,
get some
man,
crap
these
on
are the Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels of Babylon 5.
it. Ooh, they should kiss.
Jakar and Londo. That's what people that you're too late. The show
Oh, do
itself has
people
made
ship
that joke.
them?
Of course they
Oh,
do. The show itself shipped them. At one point in the later episode, there are some like, I don't know, author avatar characters that are just like, how long have they been married? All right, so let's see if there's anything. I don't know if this is an official European box, Jeff. I'm not strictly mad if that was. Okay, yep. Okay, Jeff, now,
there you go.
when you say box topper, that should be at the top of the box, but I don't.
Yeah, you're actually in a better position having it at the bottom of the box.
So you'd rather be a bottom than a top, Jeff, is what you're saying.
I don't accept that joke.
Who's joking? I'm asking Jeff May, co-host of the Nerd Podcast and serious person, if he prefers, if we're talking about boxes in the context of card boxes and breaking, if Jeff prefers the bottom to the top.
Well, the bottom,
I am
obviously.
I'm just stealing a
It's going to
Brooklyn
maintain a
99
flatter
joke.
position, and if the cards move in the back, they're not going to dent that box topper.
Okay, so I am absolutely thrilled for what it's worth with these cards in this set.
I'm glad.
It's weird, I will
I'm
say,
so
like,
happy.
I have too many, but not for the cost. Like, that's the thing, is it's not like I went out and spent a ton of money. Like, I've got weeks and weeks of, I'll do a zoom out in just a second. I have weeks and weeks of cards. You can see I didn't even get to all of them. And this
Yeah,
is exclusive to the European box, but the Coming of Shadows box topper on the bottom card.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
hearing the
pretty cool.
Babylon 5 music in my head as we speak.
I'm
That
not
is,
because I don't know what that music is.
and I'm gonna laugh when Jeff, you're like, all I've ever heard is Dre's rendition for 2 seconds, and that's what you think Babylon 5 music is.
That is what I think Babylon 5 is.
All right, so, oh, by the way, some funny stuff. So to wrap up, Jeff, we'll start talking about what's coming up with the week. I've got tons and tons of Babylon 5 stuff for the future, which is good. If Michael Slater, who will be the future guest host of the Nerd Show on Youngblood, and I can do more Babylon 5 content, that will be fun. I was talking to him, and Jeff, what he said about the nerd, or the I must break you theme, which I'll play really quick just so we can hear. He actually said this is sort of based, just like not explicitly, but this is kind of based on the X-Men theme song, just like the vibe. So he didn't do kind of like the X-Men ripping off Tina Turner. He did do just the vibe of the song, of like Saturday morning cartoon, how it sounds. So I just thought that was really cool talking to him.
Oh, that is.
By the way, if you are interested, if you are a patron, go to patreon.com/Jeff May. I did do a post that I don't want Jeff to see So it's a
Well,
YouTube
I
video.
saw that you made the post, but I did not click on the YouTube or anything like that.
So if you go to that YouTube link,
I
I'm just
did
going to
read
keep
the
shouting it
comment.
out. Patreon.com/Jeff May. There is a post called Don't Tell Jeff. There's a video of me that you can watch. Cool stuff. You should do it. All right, Jeff, there are two things I want to end on. I've been doing some research for 1980s X-Men as well as the Morlocks, which relates to a nerd episode we did on a Morlock Christmas. And I was already sending you like screenshots, I'd say every 5 minutes as I was reading Jeff. It was taking all
You
my
sure
power
were.
not to send every minute. Because 80s comics, the
Went a
combination
little
of
bit.
horny and wild and whatever you want to call it. But Jeff, I'm sorry to say this is going to keep coming up, and I'm going to bring it to the very end of I Must Drake You, is our argument that we actually had on the nerd episode on a Morlock Christmas about if Storm is flying. And Storm is in a contained room saying, at least this gallery is large enough for me to generate sufficient wind to fly. So Storm.
And you're taking that colloquial speech as saying Storm has the ability to fly.
I am
And
so
doesn't. She has the ability to manipulate the wind so she can appear to fly. But the reality is she has no control of the flight, just the wind.
But she does
And that
have.
is a
Well, first,
drastically
there's
different,
two things.
such a different thing.
One, she controls the wind, so she is able to control herself. And two, she does have things there. And okay, so Brian is on your side. Brian, you were cool. You were cool, Brian. I remember
Here's
the
thing. Wait. She's just one of those fake skydivers in the fan tube that's pretending to skydive in like Las Vegas. That's all it is. You wouldn't say that person can fly. You would say that person is being hovered by the wind.
But okay,
And
so
once
there are two arguments.
There, they no longer fly.
So there are two easy counters to that, which is fun, and I love having this here. And this may be future content for like, you know, some of the argument shows we've done. We have one of those in the nerd canon now. So the first off is one of your arguments is like if you removed the wind, she wouldn't be able to fly. And my counter to that, and I asked like a physicist friend of mine about this, is if we did that same test, put Storm in a vacuum so she can't fly, true, but then neither could Angel. Angel can't fly either. Because essentially,
then it would negate his power. Sure. It would negate his power because his power is dependent on there, but his power is specifically flight.
Well, his power is having bird wings and like bird bones and bird sight too. Apparently.
Sure. If that's what we want to go to, then that's perfectly fine. But what I'm saying here is this: she does not fly. She does not have the inherent ability to fly.
Her powers allow her to fly, though.
No, her powers allow her to control how she maneuvers and basically how she falls. She can glide. She doesn't fly. It's like a hang glider isn't flying.
And by the way, we are ripping off Douglas Adams from, you know, the 60s or whatever, because in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, same conversation with a physicist friend, basically Douglas Adams jokingly says the trick to flying is to basically not hit the ground. Is to like fall and not hit the ground.
Like Jean Grey, she can't fly.
Jean Grey can fly. Are you kidding me? She can use her telepathy to move her around.
Lifting herself up.
Yes, she is still flying. What? Okay, this is actually important, and we should get to this. Oliver, I appreciate you so much. This is a nerdy-ass argument, and I am here for this, Jeff. And rest assured, you know my personality. I will 100% use this for content engagement. So a poll on is Storm flying is 100% coming at some point. What is your definition of flight then, Jeff?
Okay, first off, when you are referring to a power of flight,
no. You're being me and twisting words. I said Storm can fly. That was my argument. Storm can fly.
Storm can zoom through the air. She cannot fly.
So planes can zoom through the air. They can't fly.
I mean, planes are using jets and wings to control whatever. Like, the plane wasn't born with the ability to fly or whatever. What I'm saying is this: like, there are characters whose power is flight, or who have taken the power of flight. Rogue for example, has the power of flight because Carol Danvers had the power of flight and she absorbed it. Okay. Superman has the power of flight. Gladiator has the power of flight. All right. But Jean Grey, Storm, they are not intrinsically powered to fly. They find a way to hack it so it seems like they are flying.
But I mean, this. By the way, I'm going to steal, and I'm just going to have some cards on there, so we're showing movement as we go through, and I'll count some cards and whatever. What I was going to say, Jeff, is this actually gets into a very funny magician argument I heard. I think Penn and Teller or some skeptic point out, which is you talk about magic and you say stage magicians, right? And you're like, oh, a stage magician, that's not real magic. Whereas a stage magician is actually doing something that we can see. Whereas real magic, sorcery, magic wands, that doesn't exist. So it's funny because you're saying, real flight, like characters like Rogue, not characters like Storm, who are basically doing what a plane does. Storm has the ability to create the momentum and lift to create the airflow for her body to glide on. You're right, she's gliding, but that is, for instance, how planes work. That is how birds work. They create a difference in the airflow above or below the wing, which lets them create lift, and then they are allowed to propel. Now, planes...
You're coming at this strictly from semantics, then. So you're coming at this from a strictly semantic thing, which is she has the power of flight because she can be in the air.
No, the specific line, which we seem to be arguing, is can Storm fly? And the answer is yes.
Okay, the answer is no. Nothing. No superhero can fly because they're drawings. So there you go. That's the actual answer is none of them can actually fly because they're not real. They're created and imagined and then drawn onto paper.
Yeah.
So in that regard, no. So if we want to get super semantic about it, no superhero ever can fly.
That is true, but we are going for if we are saying Storm has the ability to control the weather, which she does, and thus change air currents above and below her, which she can.
So she's manipulating the environment around her, not herself to fly. She's manipulating the
to be fair, if we get into like Futurama like stuff, then that was the joke, right, about how the Planet Express flies. Is it doesn't move, it moves the let's see, 60 divided by 4, 15. 3. Sorry, 1 sec, Jeff. I can do 5s. That's cool. All right, so if we look at the Planet Express on that show, they basically say he moves the universe around the ship. It's like the joke, right?
Sure.
And so we're kind of saying the same for Storm. All I'm saying is Storm can fly. It's not, does she have the power of flight? Is it intrinsic? And that seems pretty just like milk toast and boring to be like.
She can maneuver through the air due to manipulating the environment around her. She cannot fly.
That counts as flying, though. That literally counts as flying.
Well, you'd say, but I disagree.
All right, so here is the fantastic news for me, Jeff. I love this. I'm broken, as we've discussed. This is content. This is more stuff that can go up over at patreon.com/Jeff May. Stuff that can go over at either of Jeff's YouTube channels. That would be Jeff Has Cool Cards and Jeff Has Cool Friends. Subscribe and like if you have not. Jeff, let's talk about the rest of your week. Then we can get out of here and I can go research more about flight.
Well, let's see. I mean, the rest of this week is going to be pretty busy. I've got a lot of Tom and Jeff Watch Batman to record. I'm recording a lot this week, actually. Trying to get ahead of Tom and Jeff Watch Batman. We have a nerd recording on Wednesday. I recorded a nice anniversary episode of Jeff Has Cool Friends celebrating the 4th anniversary of the Patreon.
Was it someone on your Instagram? Is that a giveaway, or what do you want to say anything about it? That's coming out tomorrow, right?
It's me. It's just me. And that is going to be a sort of like, it's sort of, I'm doing a Just Me episode, just sort of like looking at, well, it's been 4 years. Let's talk about the things that have recently happened and what I have coming up soon. I have 2 new show announcements, kinda, that I sort of dropped on there. And I'm doing that to kind of prepped the ability for me to have the actual numbered 100th episode be
Okay,
up. I didn't
I was
have.
going to ask that because we've gotten into semantic arguments. You basically said you have Jeff Has Cool Friends number 100 coming up, but you mean 100th interview, not 100th episode, because you've done year-end special. So I like this. You're hyping up the 100th show, which, Jeff, you know me, I 100% approve. I am looking forward to this. Do you know ahead of time how much time did that episode clock in at, time wise? That
It, even though it's a solo episode, it's like 44 minutes, 45 minutes.
Not happy. I mean, you're a good talker. We know this, so that is more than
I It
fine.
was weird. I told my roommate, I'm like, talking alone's it's fucking hard, man.
I'm it's weird because I use the don't tell Jeff. So again, if you go to patreon.com/Jeff May, there's a post called Don't Tell Jeff. The one rule is don't tell Jeff, and on the YouTube thing, don't even comment. You can comment on the video, but do not comment anything that would mean anything to Jeff, because Jeff can see the comments in like the YouTube dashboard. Jeff and I both have access to that. And so
Oh,
Jeff,
I'm not looking at those.
good. Okay, that's good. But there was one that was like said something, and I was like, yeah, Jeff's not going to see the video, but he might see the comments if you, because it'll pop for us to just say, hey, comment, comment, comment. So I got a little bit of practice on that, and that's definitely interesting. It's like do it on your own. And some of the stuff that you had done, for instance, for Heritage, I'm thinking we have the ability to do. For instance, if you had an insane co-host that was just like wanted to do a 10-minute video on if storm flies, that is very close to being in the cards, which, pun intended, I am very excited about.
Oh yeah, man,
Ooh,
I'm really looking
multiple.
forward to it.
Let's see. This is inners. This is three. There are multiple inserts. I love. This is such a cool set, and it's not out of control. So like this is there are multiple inserts in this set, but it's not like modern day where there are 20 billion insert sets and 5 parallels for every base, and I don't even know what I'm getting. All right.
Nice.
You've got, so let's see, Tuesday. That means Tuesday, tomorrow. You've got Jeff Has Cool Friends. Jeff getting hyped for episode number 100. Congratulations, Jeff. An amazing honor there. We also have on Wednesday, Tom and Jeff watch Batman. I apologies because just there's so many different shows and they run together. But what's the current one you're on? I've been digging the episodes you and Tom are doing.
Oh, the Batman.
It's
We're
just,
we're doing the Batman.
and is that the one
There's
that
some
did
weird
have
ones.
that had what's her name, right? That was in Street Fighter and she got written out in season 3. Am I wrong, or is that a
Ming
different
Na
show?
Wen's
Yeah.
character, yeah. Yin.
So she had been in the show. I'm not misremembering that. Because I think you
Yeah,
done like season 1, season 2, and then hopped around a little bit and came back. So,
yeah. And we do a there's some interesting things that are gonna come up with that character reference soon.
dude, like you had Beverly Crusher, I had Lita Alexander, hmm and Rogue, and Madeline Pryor. I mean, man, it's not a shocker. Thursday, I'm assuming, is Mike Mayhew Studios. Is that still normal this week?
Oh yeah.
I have not been, I mean, good for my wallet in that I have not been able to catch those recently, but any fun stuff? Anything to say there?
Wait, say that again.
The Mike Mayhew Studios, where if you go to the Whatnot application, it's Mike Mayhew Studios. Jeff sells comics on the air in the very Don West style. You get the rookie card style, and it's fun stuff. A blast. I love the Mike Mayhew comics. His covers are fantastic, and Jeff is a delight to watch sell stuff.
Oh, and the new Amazing Spider-Man cover will be there probably.
Which one is that? I saw a really cool looking Mary
Amazing
Jane
Spider-Man number
one.
one.
Then there's just a, yeah, the spider. There's a
That'll
Spider
be
Man number
number
one.
three. Yeah, it's Spider-Man number one.
And are there multiple variants of the Spider Man?
There's an
Just
A, a B, and a C. There's red costume, virgin, and then black costume.
nice. And is there the Ben Parker costume, which, as we know, is Jeff's favorite? If you listen to
Absolutely
DC
not.
versus Marvel, you know that, right? You all listen to DC versus Marvel, so you can tell I'm making an inside joke because you, of course, had to have heard the nerd episode of DC versus Marvel with myself, Jess, and Michael Vincent Bramley.
Yeah.
All right. Possible
Um,
mailbag Friday, possible not. I've been liking that, Jeff. I like that they come in when you have material. If not, no worries. But that's been cool too.
and I don't know what the I Must Break You is going to be officially on Wednesday. It should be something fun.
Although you have, I mean, when I helped you organize your studio, which I hope there's been progress. And if not, Jeff, the good news, as nerdy as this sounds, coming out there to help you with your studio,
That was
was
fun.
it was a fun trip. And unless you hated me there, that is, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You'd be like,
No,
bye,
no, no.
bye, Dre. But it's a fun trip that is a very reasonable trip, both logistically, just getting there, and as a thing to do. In part because
Yeah.
this is this is my tinkering with the beat up car in the garage, right? You and me both. We were talking that. So hoping at some point in the future can get more studio time, depending on life and how things go. We're getting closer to spring break or summer break. We just did spring break, went to Texas. All right. I
So
didn't. By the way,
I'm
cool thing.
looking.
Have not quite gotten a full
Okay.
set. And yeah, I'll let you answer the question on the studio.
I was like, no, you have to breathe and allow me to say
No.
something. Um, I'm in my studio right now. Let me see what I have that I could open. I have, let's see, the Magic the Gathering Commander deck box that I picked up. I have that DC Legends 95. I have Wakanda Forever, Terminator 2. I have a bunch of obscure sports. I have some Anastasia cards. Um, I have Dungeons and Dragons and Heavy Metal, which
What
I
did I
doubt
give
we'll be
you?
doing.
You got who gave you Anastasia, and I gave you another set with that, right?
Bob Shaw sent me
Hunkback. I
Anastasia.
gave you Hunchback of Notre Dame, right?
Yes. Yeah. So that's so we have that. I might go out because if I'm looking to diversify what I'm doing here, um I also have these weird Japanese Animal Crossing cards. That's kind of weird. I could make that maybe like a more obscure one. Um, but at WonderCon last weekend, and I did mention right that I got the cards signed by Ron Lim that I will be putting in the mail in people's March packages. So
That was
that'll be
on.
fun.
If you have not subscribed to the channel you are at, which is Jeff Has Cool Cards, um,
Mhm.
8, then you absolutely should. And on the mailbag, Jeff went over a bunch of stuff that you had at WonderCon, etc. So again, if you're here, like if YouTube plopped you here, that is fantastic. We love to have you here. If you like watching a nerd sort a bunch of Babylon 5 cards, this is so fun, Jeff.
I
That
also
is
have those
great.
Buffy cards that Walker gave me for Kim, which no, when she'll be getting those. Walker also said just scored a sick ASF Death of Venom issue with Maddie Pryor wearing the symbiote. Ooh,
That is pretty cool.
spicy.
So here's some fun stuff, Jeff. I don't know. I mean, you could just break those cards, man. I don't know. You just break the Buffy.
They're not mine. Walker bought them for Kim.
Well, I don't know. Just leave them at mint on card or something for her to pick up, or a blast from the past. Whatever.
I
Anyway,
mean, it's not like we didn't break up. We just ended our show. But like,
well
I'm not
then
gonna
just give
go
them to her and be like, do whatever you want with them.
go
That's
out of
easy
my
enough.
way to get them to her. She can come get them whenever she wants.
All right. Well, fair enough. What was I going to say, Jeff? So here's something I have been enjoying over at patreon.com/Jeff May. As Oliver in the chat said, is polls. And so we, of course, had our poll on, who wins Dre versus Jeff, which was fantastic. I got another poll up last week about who won the amalgam pack battle you put together, Jeff, which was absolutely awesome. And then we do have one more. Like we have the Constormfly. I do not hate the Thursday nerd poll, Jeff, as just like regular content. Of course, when nerd goes up on Thursday, which it will not this Thursday, but next, we can just have that on its own. But the nerd poll, Jeff, I'm not hating this. And then I'm also not hating the fact that it's not hard to make that a double entendre. So there you go.
I like how you did the double entendre
That was
to
not intentional, but you know what, Jeff? It is a thing now. I am from now on. I am using that because as we know, you speak French. I do not.
yeah, it's entendre.
So
But
like,
entendre I mean, that just fits, man.
Yeah, we'll see. There we go. Like, and I got to make that a thing. So, Jeff, anything else to end on? Thank
Nah,
you,
man, just
everybody, for
all
hanging out for.
5,000 things. Yeah, yeah. I haven't gotten any, not a lot of mail, so I don't know if we'll do a mailbag on Friday, but we definitely have a good break coming Wednesday and lots of stuff being done. I'm going to be a busy bee. Friday is also going to be a bit much because I have a career day that I'm going to, which
Nice.
is
Is this
interesting.
is this like the one you've been to before? Or is it a different one?
It's the same teacher, but he's at a new school now. But he still teaches
If
eighth
they don't
grade.
know you, you can do new material. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for watching. Obviously, that means a lot to us that you're here. So, hey, um,
I'll
have
start.
a perfect, wonderful day.
I'll start playing the music, and we'll do the classics. So we got patreon.com/Jeff May. Jeff has cool cards. Jeff has cool friends. Hey there, Jeffro, Jeffro. On the most socials, Jeffro2 on Instagram. Nerd numbers most places. Double thumbs up to Babylon 5. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Later on. Bye.
All right. Cool, man. As always, enjoy that. Makes my